Hi, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Molly G, back at y'all on another episode of Running With You. And today I'm gonna running with y'all about. I was just thinking about something when I was at the gym, and I was just thinking about my type of woman that I'll go for. And I would kind of have to say that I would like me a woman that is traditional, but also at the same time, you know, kind of modern when it comes to, working. Um, a lot of people will say that, oh, you shouldn't want a woman that will want to work. You should want to just, pay everything and, she just be a stay-at-home mom. That's people prerogative. That's people opinion. Me personally, I would rather a woman that, works or at least has a hobby or a habit. Now, if I was just, that balling out of control or just making X amount of money, then I would be fine with me, you know, uh taking care of everything and she doesn't have to worry about anything financially. But, you know, I would like a woman that works, but at the same time is not so caught up into working, not making work her whole, you know, uh her whole life, like working excessive hours, getting stressed out at work. Like I wouldn't want that, but at the same time, I would want a woman with goals. If, for example, if I meet you and you're 28 years old, but you're working at Dollar General or you're working at Family Dollar as the cash register uh, position, and you have no goals in mind. To me, I wouldn't want that. I would want a girl who's, trying to better herself. But I would, at the same time, I wouldn't want a girl who's just working crazy hours, trying to climb the ladder at the job, getting stressed out unnecessarily, and bringing that stress to the household, bringing that stress onto me, bringing that stress onto the kids. Uh, like I'll rather her just work her hours, come home, and that's it, you know. And I'll take care of the bills, I'll take care of the rent. She just have her own money. That's personally what I would want. And she have her own money to fend for herself if need be. Now, of course, if it's something happens, I would be glad to help out or glad to take care of it. But having your own money for when you're going to work and you want to eat lunch, having your own money just to pay your own cell phone bill, having your own money just to, pay your own subscriptions, of all the subscriptions that you have, personally. Like that's what I mean by your own money. But as far as everything with the household, I wouldn't mind taking care of that. Now, if you do have like something happen with your car and you need to get fixed, I wouldn't mind either taking care of it or helping out. But just by you having your own money to say, for instance, if it was an $800, you know, repair for your car, I wouldn't mind her having at least three out the 800, and I take care of five. That's what I'm basically saying. Um, Certain jobs is high level jobs that require a lot of stress, like nurses. It's a reason why they say nurses are the most vulnerable to be capable of cheating in a relationship. To me, is vulnerable because you work a lot of long hours. You're around a lot of different type of people with higher professions than you, and it's almost like you know it's just a culture of that job. Like everyone's doing it, so eventually peer pressure will, a lot of things could make somebody just break. You know, um, I think I would really want to deal with a nurse for those simple reasons. Certain jobs where you got to be out of town all the time, like I won't want to deal with that. Being around a lot of males, I won't want to deal with that. I think a cool job probably be like a dentist. Like I wouldn't mind getting with a dentist, getting with somebody who knows about teeth, taking care of their own teeth. I don't think that the dentist environment is a stressful environment, at least from the outside looking in. Like that's an example of what type of woman I would like to deal with is somebody who has a decent paying job but is not making work her whole life. Like I would rather her life be, revolved around family instead of career. Like a lot of modern guys, they want their women to be boss babes, boss bitches, quote unquote power couple. Me, I could see why you would like that dynamic, but at the same time, I still want that traditional woman who values family first, not too much caught up in finances. I don't want to be on vacation and you worry about finances. I don't want to be, you know, having family time and being at dinner and you worry about finances. I just personally wouldn't want that. You know, I would personally rather you telling me about what's going on with the kids in school. You telling me about what we eating for dinner. And that's another thing. Like, even if we were have the money to have a chef, for example, this is just example, a housekeeper, for example, I wouldn't really want that. Like, I would rather it come from us. Like it's a difference between, having somebody that can afford them things and having somebody that's is just naturally nurturing. You know, they're going to help the kids with the homework. They're going to get the kids up for for school. They're going to, clean the house when need be. They're going to cook and make sure dinner is ready, for me when I get off of work. Things like that. I just think that's a dynamic that is the most traditional and is built off of pure love. It's not built off of no, dollar amount. It's not built off of no I could do it because I can. Like, it's just built off of strictly love, and reciprocation. Um, and I will want a woman who's appreciative. A lot of women, they get things and they get it, off the strength of just entitlement. Just getting it because they're a woman, just getting it because they're pretty, just getting it because the man should do it. Like, nah, man, I would want a woman that's appreciative. You know, uh, when a woman is appreciative, that make a man want to do even more for her. You know, to me, that's more pouring into you and you pouring into me. Um, it's just so much of nuances when it comes to the dating world. It's so much of different things when it comes to society, and no body perception of dating is right or wrong. What I may see as taboo or wrong, somebody might can work with that. You know, like some men, they probably need multiple wives. Some people probably need a polygamous relationship. Everybody got to do what's best for them and what works for them in their household. So when people get online and get to debating about what's right for all, it's a silly conversation to me, because everybody in different phases of their lives, everybody, is meeting different people, and everybody have different outlooks and perspectives on what's best for them. you know if something is working for this couple in this household, it might not work for that couple, but as long as both households are, managing a healthy dynamic and relationship, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. So the 50-50 debates, the old a woman shouldn't do this, a man shouldn't do that, it's so tired. It's so tired. But me personally, like I say, man, I would want a more traditional woman. I would want a woman that's appreciative. I would want a woman that's, have goals for herself, but at the same time, I just wouldn't want her working crazy hours, crazy overtime, being gone from work on business trips a lot, or having her job revolve around having to travel a lot. Like, I would want a woman that's home every night. I would want a woman that I could hold every night. I would want a woman that can make me breakfast in the morning. I would want a woman that's, I could be around physically. I mean, it's just that simple. you know. And some people they like relationships where you have a little bit of distance. They like relationships where you living in separate households, you know, because certain people they value their space, you know, and when you see them, you have a chance to miss them. And that can work for certain people. That's probably a minority set of people, but like I say, everyone's different. This is a huge world, and what may be foreign to you may be someone else's reality. What may be foreign to someone else may be your reality. You know. Um. So yeah, man. Like I say, man. I would want a woman with all those traits. I would want a woman with all those characteristics. I would want a woman that's feminine off the rip. Like, I don't want to have to bring out your femininity. You should already be feminine already. I don't care about you in a survival mode. I don't care about your uh having to be masculine because of X, Y, and Z, and I need to bring out your feminine. No, you be feminine already. Because you wouldn't want me to be feminine and you had to bring out my masculinity. You see what I'm saying? So I think being feminine and leading with your femininity is definitely a trait that I would want. Um, Certain things, you know, it don't have to be the best, but it is a plus, like cooking. You don't have to be the best cook. You don't have to be no Chef Gordon Ramsay or nothing. But at the same time, if you're at least willing to make an effort to cook, that's a plus in my book. You know, because paying the bills and paying rent, all that is a good trade-off if you don't have to spend time cooking and cleaning in a house. Because you're going to have to pay rent regardless. If you're living in a house by yourself, you're going to pay that whole rent. But if you add a woman to that house, now at least you still paying the rent, but at least you don't have to cook as much. You don't have to clean as much. That'll be already taken care of. And by that being already taken care of, you have more time to do X, Y, and Z. Whether that's something of leisure, whether that's getting more rest, whether that's, you know, working on some project that you want to get done, or just being productive in some type of other shape or form, you know. But that's just where I'm at with it when it comes to the type of woman that I would like. Let me know down in the comment section below, what type of woman would you like? What type of man would you like? When it comes to these societal norms, when it comes to this new wave of dating apps that we're getting into, social media that we get into, influencers influencing people, people growing up on TikTok now and social media now, and they getting TikTok brain, and and it's just, you know, having people perceptions of false things. Like, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. If you like the video, go ahead on and hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, what you're waiting on. If you'd like to see me react to anything, nocapnofilter7@gmail.com. If you'd like to see me speak on anything, nocapnofilter7@gmail.com. Until next time, I'm out.